Leo's Legion, the Lions come out victorious against those lovely Riders in green, 30-16 under the dome. That is 4 in a row. We are going to celebrate this and take it apart along with the week. Next up on the 3 Down Bros. It's Monday, 8 o'clock, and you know what that means. It's time for Roland, Arthur, and Greg, the 3 Down Bros. So let's get this show on the road with Roland.
All right, thanks, Greg. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening with the 3 Down Bros. If you're joining us from TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, welcome. As usual, we invite you to type in the chat. We'd love to interact with you. Anything we say that you disagree with or agree with, or if you want to bring up something, just type it in the chat and we'll get to it as soon as we can. So for tonight, this will be our agenda. Let me just bring it up. And while I do that, I'm just going to read a comment from Just Believe. Says, I was unable to catch the game yesterday, so I have no thoughts. I'm just here for the ride. All right, no worries, Just Believe. Glad that you can join us. So we're going to start off by just doing a quick recap of the other non-BC Lions games on week 12. So Ottawa at Montreal, Winnipeg at Edmonton, Hamilton at Toronto, and then we'll jump right into the main section of tonight's show, which is the Saskatchewan at the BC game. So we'll spend a lot of time on that, and then at the end we'll look ahead to the BC at Ottawa game, week 13, and then we'll do our weekly predictions. So that's kind of the plan. Let me read a couple comments. Owen from TikTok says Butler isn't playing that well. We'll talk more about that when we get to the BC game. But you're right. He's not where he's used to be. PKG YouTube says Lions defense keeps improving each game. That they are. They absolutely are. So we'll talk about that. That's the first sub point under the BC game in our agenda tonight. Daniel says, "Hey guys, hey Daniel, glad that you can join us." All right, so let's jump into the first non-BC Lions game, which is the Ottawa at Montreal game. So my subtitle here is, "Did Ottawa even have a chance?" Okay. So before Greg and Arthur answer that, let me read a quick synopsis of the game. So the Montreal Alouettes dominated the Ottawa Red Blacks with a 46-16 victory. The decisive win extended Montreal's winning streak to 7 games, lifting their league best record to 9-1, while a struggling Ottawa squad remains winless, dropping to 0-10. The Red Blacks won the coin toss and initially found life. Quarterback Jake Mayer guided Ottawa on a long, efficient drive to jump to an early lead. Montreal's offense also opened with a shaky start when Davis Alexander uncharacteristically short-hopped a throw to a wide-open Tyler Snead on their first drive, forcing a quick punt. However, order was quickly restored. Alexander caught fire on Montreal's second drive, dealing a 38-yard pass to Cole Speaker before capping the drive with a touchdown pass to Tyson Philpott. From that point on, Montreal completely took over the game. An efficient ground game worn down Ottawa's defense, and the Alouettes completely pulled away in the second half. Montreal's defense suffocated Ottawa, forcing a staggering 5 takeaways, highlighted by a Kabion Ento pick 6 interception to seal the blowout victory. All right. Let me read a few comments here. Actually, the comments are regarding the other games. So I'll get to these comments later, guys. The guys who just posted comments. When we get to the game that we're going to be talking about, then I'll go back and read your comments. All right, let's go to... okay, actually, we have one comment about Ottawa. So Wayne says, now Ottawa Red Blacks are a struggling club and don't have enough talent right now, in my opinion. Okay, then now I think it's no. The answer to the question, did Ottawa even have a chance? I think Wayne meant no, they didn't have a chance. All right, let's get to Greg first. Your thoughts on this game and your answer to that question.
Uh, well, every team's got a chance. I mean, they say, on paper, maybe they didn't, maybe they did, but, uh, they had a good chance at the coin toss. And when the ball's kicked off, every team's got a chance. Just depends, if they can execute and if they can, um, adjust on the fly, as football games are so ebb and flow with momentum, with changes, with big plays, small plays, things like that. So um, they did have a chance at the beginning. I mean, that their touchdown was aided by I think it was a PI call. I think because they didn't get in on that first shot, and then they got in, and so that should send some belief through that team. But then there's that gap that seems to be between Ottawa's defense and every other team in the league. They just seem to be a step behind, and I like to think they have a chance. I was cheering for them because I'd like to see somebody knock off Montreal, and it'd be great if it was like the lowest team in the league, just for the goodness of the CFL. But again, I talked about it last week. It just hurts to see Ottawa struggling this bad, and now they've let some more execs go at that level, and they're a mess right now. And I don't know what it's going to take to right the ship. We'd have to probably do a whole show on that just alone. I feel bad for my guy that's there. I mean, he's given everything he's got. Those receivers are taking shots. Mayor's doing, I think, everything he can in his skill set to execute the game plan. But yeah, that game was. I mean, I don't want to say it was over before it started, but that score just it you look at that as a red black, and it just like another one. But you can't let that seep into your team. But it's tough. Like Wayne said, it's a mess, and I don't know how they can right the ship other than just keep circling the wagons and just keep fighting. But it gets hard when these losses keep piling up. But they're professionals. This is what they do for a living. It happens. So I really hope they can pull one off. But yeah, it stings. And I mean, it is Montreal, the juggernaut that they are. So I hope Ottawa can have a chance every game they play. Just let's hope that chance goes all the way to the final whistle and they come out victorious at least once.
All right, but just not next week.
No, no,
Owen,
not next week. Not next week.
Owen,
No.
Owen from TikTok says plane just landed in Vancouver. Go Red Blacks! Great, glad that you can join us even right after coming out of the plane, Owen. Let me read a couple comments here from YouTube. Joker Blitzia said Ottawa had a chance. They started strong. At one point, they led Montreal, but as soon as adversity struck, you could just see the guys sink. Dinwiddie needs to get out of CFL. And then Daniel says, Ottawa has hard Jim Pop. And then Joker Blitzia says, Jim Pop ain't the answer.
I don't think so.
Yeah. And then Just Believe says, somehow Dinwiddie is still better than Dickinson.
I agree with that. And Greg would too. Greg would too.
And then on TikTok, Zesty Pigeon says, yo, what's up? Hey, Zesty Pigeon. Great you can join us.
That's a great name.
Yeah. Owen says, mountains so nice, going to be downtown. Yeah, I love our mountains here. All right, let's go to Arthur. I guess your thoughts on this game and your answer to that question.
Well, first of all, Greg, lovely green riders in your intro. Is your blood sugar low? Should I send?
Yeah, I was calling with him my cheek, man.
Lovely green riders. Come on.
Well, should I can't because we got Wayne who loyally comes on our show, man. I can't say those. I can't use that word. I can't use that word.
You're a little rough with him last night, but I guess you're trying to make amends, which is like honorable.
I want Wayne to be my friend, man.
Honorable.
I get emotional during the game, but everything's calmed down now. I was just trying to balance it out. The 6-7 thing.
Fair enough.
I was going to say something about Gainer, but I thought I'd leave that alone. Anyway,
so try to make friends tonight, Greg. Try to make friends.
Trying. All right. It's Monday.
So the Owls, I think the Red Blacks had the Owls on the ropes their previous meeting, right? It was a tight game midway through the fourth quarter. They're neck and neck. It was a tight game. And then Montreal just made a couple of plays, and then they squeaked out a win. So this time around, I think they wanted to send a message, and they did. So, yes, it was close early, like super early, but in the middle of the game, man, it wasn't pretty. I'm looking at Mayor's stats: 14 out of 23, 126 yards, 2 interceptions. Average pass, Greg, was 5.5 yards.
The highlight package showed different, but yeah, that's
5.5, and the long was 17. So the long was 17. He had like a couple of 1-yard passes, man.
yeah, yeah.
So like this is, and then Bethel Thompson had to come into the game, and I don't think he fared much better. It was a tough showing for the Red Blacks, and in some ways, Greg, I would love it for the Lions to get the win and snap Davis Alexander's perfect home record.
Oh, yeah.
He's lost 2 games on the road in his career. He's still undefeated at home. And I'm sure all 3 of us would love the Lions to go into Montreal and get a road win to like spoil that perfect record. So we shall
what better
see.
D to do it than a Benny D, right?
I mean, I think to win on the road, we'll need more than just the Benny D. We'll need the Buck Pierce like A+ offense and the special teams to do something. But we will get to that a little bit later. And but yeah, for Ottawa, and I think you guys mentioned it in the viewers mentioned it. You know, once adversity kind of struck, it's hard, and the belief is not there, right? It's really tough for them, and as Greg eloquently said, it'd be nice for them to show well. Of course, not this coming Sunday against our BC Lions, but hopefully down the stretch, if they can take some games away from our Western rivals, that'd be awesome. But I think they have some components. I still think Dinwiddie is a credible head coach and offensive coordinator, so I think they have some of the building blocks to potentially be a good team. That's my response, Roland.
All right, great, thanks. Let me read. There's a lot of comments, so let me start with Owen from TikTok. So basically, Pop is hired just for end of season to help scout and reestablish the organization. Yeah, that's a good take. And he adds, likely won't be here in 27. Helps with the pipeline, stripping Dinwiddie and making hires. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's too much on Dinwiddie's plate if he's OC, head coach, GM, and president.
Yeah, Owen says stripping Dinwiddie of GM.
Yeah.
Okay. Quincy from TikTok says, good afternoon from Surrey. Hey, Quincy. Nice for you to join us. Thanks for joining. Let me read this quite a few more comments here. Yeah, Tommy says, the stuff I've heard about Dinwiddie from Argo players is not good and it has nothing to do with football. Daniel says, let's not take Ottawa lightly.
Yeah, 100%. Big time trap game.
Yeah. Wayne says, I agree with Arthur. Davis Alexander has to experience a home loss soon. And Daniel says, yes, eventually. Jim says, good evening, guys. Hey, good evening, Jim. Joker Blitzia says, Dinwiddie needs to stop hammering his players in public. He lost the locker room.
What?
You start doing that, man. Oh,
it's a short leash on like time span on that, right? You got to pick your spots on doing things like that.
Yeah.
And then
because I mean, don't forget, if he's GM and everything else, he's throwing players under the bus that he's expecting to go to the wall for him as a coach, that he's expecting to pay little that's tough, man. Now you start doing that. Mm-mm.
And then Tommy adds, Pop has been working in the UFL. He's gonna try to bring some players up to Ottawa with him.
Hopefully that's a unintentional spelling mistake, Tommy.
Poop. Yeah. No. Yeah, just really says poop. I guess I'm sure that's not the first time he's had his name misspelled.
I'm sure that's not the first time.
Bobby DeVos says, hi from Tuesday in Nova Scotia. Oh, you're on Tuesday already.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
keep
yeah?
up the great work, guys. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, thanks for calling so late, all the way from the other side of the of our great nation of Canada.
One of the most picturesque provinces, I'll tell you.
Owen from TikTok says, BC better be ready for the pass because we love the pass. I'm not sure who we is. Is we?
Probably Ottawa.
Okay.
Unless he's speaking about Montreal 2 weeks from now. But
yeah, Owen says that's his style, and we need for this team, man. We have kept guys for too long and go nowhere. Yeah, Owen says Ottawa. That's right.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead. What is it? Keep beating a dead horse, but
Yeah.
Just wait for. We're just waiting for Ottawa to win their first game. Just not next week. Just Believe says in Newfoundland it's 12:45 a.m. Yeah, that the extra half hour. That's kind of that's very unique for Newfoundland. All right.
It's that little piece of rock that sticks out.
Yeah. A Q-man adds, based on scouts I talked to, UFL stars won't do much. Basically view it like IFL. I guess IFL's the indoor football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like arena? United Football League. Okay, whatever that is.
All right. Okay, let's move on. It's going to be tough, Montreal, but yeah, Ottawa just hoping that they'll win one game, just not next week. All right, let's go to the next one. This is Winnipeg at Edmonton. So let me read the synopsis, and then we'll get to your thoughts and also the viewers' thoughts. Oh, Just Believe says Newfoundland is goofy. I guess they were indecisive, just decided to split the difference. All right. So the Edmonton Elks pulled off a dramatic second half comeback to defeat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 22-19. Rookie kicker Vincent Blanchard locked down the victory by drilling a 40-yard walk-off field goal as time expired, pushing Edmonton's stellar record to 8-3 while Winnipeg dropped to 5-5. The first half was completely controlled by Winnipeg, who came out firing to build a dominant 16-0 lead. Zach Collaros orchestrated highly efficient drives early on, heavily leaning on star running back Brady Oliveira to batter the Elks up the middle. Collaros connected with Tim White on a stellar 30-yard touchdown strike, and kicker Sergio Castillo later made CFL history by hitting a 52-yard field goal, breaking the league record for the most career field goals from 50-plus yards out. However, the Bombers left points on the board due to several crucial red zone stalls and a critical defensive pass breakup by third-year defensive back J.J. Ross. Edmonton managed to stop the bleeding late in the second quarter, answering with a touchdown drive to cut the halftime deficit to 16-6. The second half was a completely different story. As the Green and Gold took control, Edmonton's defense adjusted brilliantly, tightening up to limit Collaros to just 29 passing yards after he threw for 190 in the first half. Meanwhile, Elk quarterback Cody Fajardo came alive, directing a balanced offensive onslaught. Fajardo capably marched Edmonton down the field, scoring a touchdown himself alongside a score from receiver Austin Mack to completely erase the 16-point gap. With the game locked in, a 19-19 tie under 2 minutes remaining, the Elks offense executed a flawless 8-play, 42-yard game-winning drive, leaning on tackle-breaking clutch receptions from Justin Rankin and TJ Luther. Fajardo set up Vincent Blanchard for his dramatic 40-yard walk-off winner to complete the unforgettable comeback. So my sub question is, are the Bombers in trouble? Let me see some comments. Daniel says, yes, Bombers lose. Okay. Just Believe says, to answer your question, the Bombers have been in trouble for a long time. They haven't brought in any young guys and rely so much on senior citizens. Okay. Small Furry Animal says, I wore my Rourke jersey at the Winnipeg-Edmonton game because I knew there'd be Bomber fans there.
That's
Wayne
brave,
says,
Small Furry Animal.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Way to represent. Wayne says, I heard that Collaros didn't practice today, but I think he'll be starting in Edmonton. All right, so let's go with.
Okay.
Are they playing Edmonton next week?
Yeah, but they were already in Edmonton. This game was in Edmonton. Is it a back-to-back? Then it'd be in Winnipeg next week.
I
No, they're
don't
not. Yeah.
think. Give me a second here. Edmonton with the bye. Winnipeg
Next week, yeah.
home to Montreal on Friday.
Oh, that'd be a. Okay.
Okay. All right, let's go to Arthur first. Your thoughts on this game, just high level thoughts, and also your thoughts on the question.
So I think they're in trouble. I think they have a identity crisis. I think this is what Oliveira was mentioning before. I'm looking at the stats in the game. I'm looking at Oliveira's stats. He had 16 carries for 118 yards with a 7.4 yard average. Okay. So going into the fourth quarter, Greg, the score is tied. How many touches do you think Brito Oliveira had in the fourth quarter?
I believe from what I saw, 0.
He had one rush for 2 yards.
Oh, one. Okay, I got it because I didn't see
Ever
anything.
since the fourth quarter, one rush for 2 yards, and they just kept on passing. I mean, one rush for 2 yards, pass, interception, pass complete, rush by Calero, sack, field goal, and then that's it.
Because I believe traditionally that historically that fourth quarter that was Brady time. That was
That
like just
should
run it
be
down your
like,
throat.
yeah, like what happened? It's a tie game. Like they weren't down, right? They weren't down, and like Oliveira didn't even like just touches. He's your best right now. He's your best player, and they're not using him. And I'm thinking the frustration level with him has got to be through the roof because they had that the loss before the BC game, and they're like, oh, we're going to commit to the run. He's questioned the identity.
Yep.
Um,
And they did
and
the first half of that game. It was
first half in the
all
BC shut it down.
Yep.
They got I guess a good result. I'm not sure who against who, maybe Ottawa. And then what happened? So, I mean, you're up 16, up 16-6. And you gave them that late, late points in the first half for Edmonton. That's pretty sad. I guess you're on the road, but still, I don't know. To me, there's an identity crisis with the new OC, Tommy Condell.
Yep.
And I don't know if he's much of a run first kind of guy, but
He's a run and shoot kind of guy. Sorry, gun and shoot kind of guy.
so I mean, I don't know. But to me, they're in trouble because they're not sticking to their identity. Mind you, Greg and I aren't crying about it either, right, Greg?
I will reserve comment until my turn.
All right, Roland, back to you.
All right, let's read a few comments here. Daniel says, I predict Winnipeg won't make the playoffs.
Ooh.
Yeah, if they don't improve, that could be a possibility. Just believes this. Brady was so good in the first half, and in the second half, he didn't get the ball. He had 14 fantasy points in the first half. Just believe agrees. Yeah, Winnipeg won't make the playoffs. Wayne says, I don't understand the Bombers not using Oliveira in the second half. Yeah, I think nobody does. That doesn't make sense, right? Just Believe says, Edmonton, BC, Saskatchewan are going to be top 3 in the West, and Calgary will cross over.
Whoa, Just Believe. Like, sorry, what's going on, Just Believe? Is that an imposter for Just Believe? I thought Calgary was going to win the West. I don't know what happened.
Calgary's the scariest team in the league, wasn't it?
Scary.
Yeah, well, Daniel agrees. He says, me too. Tommy says, Oliveira had 2 touches in the second half.
Oh.
Tommy Condell hates running the ball. And he adds, Tommy Condell learned from June Jones.
June Jones, oh my
That was a surprising hire by Mike O'Shea.
Oh. I think Zach Collaros pushed for it.
Yeah. Just Believe says it's Dave Dickinson's fault. Okay.
3rd and 1, do a deep handoff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what the season's come down to for the Stampeders. Well, you never know. Season's still young.
JG, I think it's your first time joining us, at least commenting. JG says, "This Lions fan attended the game. What a comeback for the home team." Yeah, awesome game. We'll get to that in a bit when we get to our game. Just Believe says, "Dickey has put them too far behind. If they fire him now, they might recover to second."
What? Wow, we'll get to that later.
Wayne says, "I don't think Just Believe believes anymore." All right. Okay, let's go to the next game. Hamilton.
Greg.
Oh, sorry, Greg. I missed you, Greg. Okay.
He's got to get his licks in on Winnipeg.
Okay, your thoughts.
You can't deny him. You can't deny him that.
I'm sorry, Greg.
That's okay. I'm just a little emotional. I'm wiping away my crocodile tears for Winnipeg and Michael Shea. Are the Bombers in trouble? I sure do certainly hope so. And good on them. I mean, hey, they were on the top tier for the longest time, but eventually all things got to fall. And, they make their hires, they make their fires, and this is the result of their hires. If Tommy Condell doesn't like running the ball, boo-hoo. He's your OC. Do what you got to do. And you know what? If Brady's frustrated, sorry, another crocodile tear.
I'm getting so emotional.
Greg's getting emotional today.
if Brady is they're frustrated, they got an identity crisis. Too bad. You know what? It's good to see the other side of the coin in Winnipeg now, because like I said, I told you guys at the end of the game on Sunday, I'm not a blue fan, not a blue and gold fan, not a double blue fan. As far as I mean, if they do well, that's great for the league because I love the CFL, but you know what? They got to flounder a little bit too, and it's good on them. And you know what? If they struggle because they've kept players around too long, that's their leadership's design, and they picked the players that got them all those Grey Cups and all Grey Cup appearances. Well, right? If the fat cat sat too long, oh well. So I'm happy. I mean, I'm not happy that Edmonton beat them because then that just puts Edmonton that far ahead. And I like green a little bit better than blue, and one green I like a little bit better than the other green, but that's for another show. But no, I'm just really sad that Winnipeg's in trouble.
All right. I appreciate your.
I'm winding there with. I'm right up there with you, Arthur.
Yeah, putting your heart out on your sleeve, Greg.
Yeah, it's there. My heart's there.
All right. Yeah, it's boom and bust, right? You stick with the veterans. It's going to take you far, but then at some point, there's going to be a huge drop off. So.
I mean, remember the Lions, how good they were in the 80s with Roy DeWalt, and they forgot to back him up. They forgot to groom a quarterback. And when he went down, there was nothing. And that's what it's looking like. I mean, Caleros was like cream of the crop, but the cream's starting to go a little sour, but that's okay. It's okay. Best before date's reached.
All right. Okay, let's move on to the next game, Hamilton at Toronto. And I've subtitled it Another Tale of Two Halves. So the Toronto Argonauts utilized a dominant second-half surge to defeat the Hamilton Tiger Cats with a 39-20 victory. The crucial bounce-back win evened the season series between the East Division foes, lifting Toronto back to a 5-5 record while Hamilton fell 4-7. The game kicked off under wet conditions following a lengthy rain delay, but the weather did not slow down the offenses. Toronto struck first, executing efficiently in the opening quarter to capture a 12-7 lead. Hamilton found their footing behind quarterback Trey Ford and running back Larry Roundtree, engineering back-to-back scoring drives in the second frame. A pair of Hamilton touchdowns briefly propelled the visitors ahead 17-15, allowing the Ticats to carry a narrow 2-point lead into the halftime. The second half was a completely different story, as the Argos adapted to the slick conditions and took total control. Chad Kelly ignited a 10-play drive, firing a 12-yard TD strike to Kevin Mittal to retake the lead. From there, Toronto's defense turned up the pressure on Ford, shifting the momentum permanently. With 9 minutes remaining and Hamilton trailing by just 5, Toronto defensive end Sean Lemon delivered the game's turning point by strip-sacking Ford. The critical takeaway directly set up a DeMonte Coxey touchdown catch. Toronto went on a tear, outscoring Hamilton 24-3 in the final frames to complete the comfortable blowout victory. All right. Let me see if there's any comments. Let me just... Okay, Wayne says, I love your crocodile tears, Greg. Uh,
I can make a pair of shoes and a bag here right now. Oh wait, oh that's probably PC. Oh sorry. Let's take that back. I could probably open an aquarium and a reptile preservation park with all the crocodiles here. There we go.
yeah.
Leave it at
James says the only time I cheer ish
that.
for the other West teams is when they play the Bombers. Okay.
I think this is something almost everyone can agree with. Like Wayne, Just Believe, all these other Rider fans, all the Elks fans, is we all don't like the Bombers.
Yeah.
That goes back way back to elementary school for me. But anyway,
Uh, where was I? Yeah. Daniel says, I remember that, Greg. If it was not for DeWalt, Lions would not have even come close to the Grey Cups.
nope. All due respect to the throwing Samoan, but anyway.
Yeah. Just Believe says, I like the Bombers more than Saskatchewan and Edmonton. Okay.
What?
Well, that's that. Well, come on, he's a Calgary guy. He's got to like Bombers more than Edmonton. That's a
Yeah.
given.
Yeah, that's a given, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with Greg first. Your thoughts on this game and the question.
Quarterback that shall not be named. I get sick to my stomach of how lucky that guy is throwing the picks, the turnovers. It just. I mean, okay, you know, let's keep it to football versus Greg's feelings here. Great on the Argos for making adjustments, right? That's what football's all about. And they were able to figure out Trey Ford. They were able to figure out the Hamilton plan. And defensively, they shut it down and put their offense into place to engineer the win. And the offense, hey, they knew it wasn't working. They went with what was working, and you keep going until it's broke. Hamilton's strong point is their defense. And I think it just got tired because that's the unit that's keeping them in most of the games. So they're a lot better than the Ottawa debacle, but their offensive identity is probably more so in crisis than Winnipeg. But it's Hamilton, and I really, that Bo Levites, that's beating a dead horse. But they really have to find some consistency at quarterback. It's a revolving door right now. I mean, it was Frost, but I think then it was Ford, then it was Frost, but then I think Frost is hurt, if I'm not mistaken, Arthur. That's why they went to Ford second
Yeah, he didn't
last game.
play. He didn't play. I didn't read up on like if he had that upper body injury, if he was allowed to dress.
Okay.
But yeah.
But yeah, if I mean, I'd rather it have been Ottawa that beat Hamilton. Let's be honest. I'm not but you know what? You make adjustments and you make the other teams. You find the weakness, you exploit it. That's what Toronto did. So good on them. But yeah, like Arthur says, game 60 minutes. We were saying BC needs to play 65 against Saskatchewan. Toronto took all 60, but they made it count. And what does Farhan call it? The middle six.
Yeah.
They took advantage of it. So good on Toronto for making the adjustments. That's a tribute to the coaching staff, the players that execute it. I'm as happy as I can be for Toronto, but they did what all good football teams need to do: adjust.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Thanks, Greg. Let's go with Arthur's thoughts.
So I'm looking at the advanced stats in this game. It's actually the Hamilton defense that let them down. And Hamilton took 9 penalties for 55 yards. Greg, how many penalties did Toronto take? Take a wild guess.
2.
1 for 5 yards the whole game.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Yes. Yeah, I can. Yes, I can. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Yes, I can.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, man, the defense let down the Hamilton Ticats this game. Like Trey Ford, 356 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 19 for 32. He outthrew Chad Kelly, but Chad Kelly had 3 touchdowns, 289 yards.
And
the thing is, the penalties, the defense, like the second down conversions for the Argos, it was 61.5%.
Yeah.
That's like, and 4 sacks for the Argos defense, none for Tigats. So, like Trey Ford's going to get a lot of like, hey, he can't do it or whatever. But I don't know, man. I think this game was more on the other phases of the Hamilton Cat team. Defense and special teams kind of let them down a bit. And Trey Ford had an honorable game, couldn't get a touchdown pass, but he racked up yards. Again, maybe there's some cheap yards earned in the fourth quarter when they're up so much. We have to allow for that, but I think the Hamilton defense was really carrying the team since Bo Levi went down, just scrapping and clawing, keeping the game close. I think for this game, they couldn't do that.
No, they're tired.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Thanks,
what do you
Arthur.
say? We've got you always said the offense has the advantage on a slick field, right?
Oh yeah.
When Toronto makes those adjustments, now Hamilton's defense, if they're on the field for 61% of those second down conversions, they're not getting off the field none too soon, and they're getting tired. So, unfortunately, yeah, Trey Ford's not strong enough to bring him back on his own.
And 0 interceptions for Trey Ford, so I like to see that. And hopefully, like, I think he's still part of the future in the CFL. We need like dynamic quarterbacks, and for him to see him with 0 interceptions, that's a good thing. Him passing so much this past weekend, so that's a good thing. I mean, obviously, this is probably not going to work out in Hamilton for him, but at least hopefully this is like he can learn and progress as a quarterback, because we need more dynamic quarterbacks in CFL. So
he can hang his hat on this game, like you said, 350 plus yards, 0 ints. That's pretty good. That's darn good. Just no TDs, but hey, if all the yardage is between the fives, but he still completes passes.
He's two. I think they're both teams are 2 for 3 in the red zone. So it's just yeah. I think the penalties and everything kind of went against Hamilton.
All right, let me read a few comments from online here. From TikTok, Zesty Pigeon says, I added y'all to my story. Thanks, Zesty. I appreciate that. Tommy says, Keandre Smith went offside on the waggle 4 times. Tommy says, Ford now not using legs enough. Hard to find the balance.
Well, because he's probably being made to be that pocket passer, right? He's got to concentrate on that more, and it's probably difficult for that we talked about it, that break the habit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's still I think he's still learning, right? I mean, you never stop learning for sure, right? But with Ford, I have a feeling he was kind of thrown into the fire a little bit prematurely. He probably could have benefited, not being a little bit more training before being the full-time starter, right?
Yeah.
Daniel says, too bad they had all that bad weather. Yeah. They had 22,000 tickets sold, only 19,000 showed up. Just Believe says, yeah, Ford went from running too much to not using his biggest strength. Yeah. So hopefully, like Tommy said, he'll find a balance. Yeah. He'll find a balance.
As long as the coach lets him do it.
Yeah, you need to have some decent coaches and a decent team around you to be able to develop like that, right? All right. Okay, let's move on to our feature for tonight, which is the Saskatchewan at BC game. Okay, let me read a quick summary, and then we'll go from there. So it was a great win, by the way. So I'll get you guys' high level thoughts after I read through the synopsis. So the BC Lions established a total control early in the game, fueled by an aggressive grit mentality. The Lions defense harried Saskatchewan quarterback Trevor Harris from the opening whistle. BC built a comfortable first-half lead on the strength of timely defensive takeaways and a slick Nathan Rourke touchdown strike to Canadian wideout Javon Cotoy. While Saskatchewan tried to manufacture a comeback in the second half, highlighted by an unusual 17-yard reception by offensive lineman Daniel Johnson and a 26-yard TD throw to Del Duncan Busby, they ultimately shot themselves in the foot. The Roughriders had 2 touchdowns called back due to penalties and committed 7 costly infractions overall. BC fully pulled away late as short yardage weapon Xander Horvath punched in a TD to add to the lead, and kicker Sean White remained perfectly reliable. BC's defense closed the door with a final turnover on downs to secure the emphatic divisional win. All right, let me read through a few stats here, and then I'll come back to you guys' thoughts. So the BC Lions defense completely dominated the game, forcing a total of 4 turnovers, 2 INTs, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 turnover on downs. Rourke completed 22 of 28 passes, 78.5% for 355 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interceptions. He officially passed Dave Dickinson, Just Believe's best friend, for 5th all-time in BC Lions passing history. Javon Kotoy exploited the secondary for a spectacular game-high 110 receiving yards and a perfect 6-for-6 target completion rate, scoring his first TD of the year. Xander Horvath plunged in for a TD, making him the CFL leader in touchdowns with 12 on the season. So he's overtaken
Tommy Stevens.
Tommy Stevens, yeah. Keon Hatcher hauled in a pivotal and precise TD pass from Rourke to secure the second half cushion. And then on defense, TJ Lee and Thomas Oliver each recorded a crucial INT against Harris to choke out Saskatchewan's drives. All right, so let me read a couple comments, and then we'll get to Greg's thoughts. Daniel says, Lions defense was the best I have seen all year, with 4 turnovers. James says, I was more nervous watching our offense than our defense. Yeah, yeah, me too, actually. And Wayne says, it was more the timing of the penalties than the number of them, but it was the turnovers that killed the Riders. Yeah. Let me just go back a bit, and there were a few comments earlier about this game. PKG says, Lions defense keeps improving each game. All right. Okay, let's go to... I think it's Greg, right? Greg, your high-level thoughts on this game, and then we'll go through these points as well.
I think Greg's joining.
Greg's really emotional tonight.
I think Greg's joining the Mike Benavides fan club tonight, officially. Right, Greg?
These are tears of joy. Tears of joy. You know, the gopher has been slain. I'm happy that the watermelons were smashed, and I'm just happy that the Lions, I think, have that belief now that they put all three segments together, complementary football, and they play for 60 minutes with an aggressive defense. They can beat Saskatchewan, and you know what? It's just a great way to end the week. But yeah, I was nervous in the beginning because we were watching the line battles, and our lines, both sides of the ball, were getting driven back. And, you know, I'm thinking, how are they going to establish a running game when the offensive linemen are back where our running back's getting the handoff? How are they going to get any pressure on Harris when their O-line is already at our linebacker level? And I was not happy in the beginning, as Arthur can attest, because he was sitting beside me, the poor guy. Same with the people in front of me and the people behind me. I'm sure they could all hear it. But you know what? Like Arthur pointed out to me after he calmed me down, 6 points to probably one of the better offenses in the league in the first half. And we actually, some hiccups on offense. Which caller said they were nervous about our offense? Because, I really think this score could have been higher had the offense executed better. There's a few of those second down and mediums that were short hopped or tipped at the line or whatever. If Nate maybe rolls out versus stands in there, hindsight being 2020, I really think we could have put more points up, which would have been awesome. But no, overall, it was a great game. We had a bunch of friends there who watching a CFL game for the first time, and this we've been talking about was a great game for a first-time fan, viewer, spectator to see. It had a little bit of everything. It would have been nice if we had the Rouge or a run back for a touchdown or something, just for the.
Come on, Greg. That's asking you too much.
Okay, well, I'm just saying,
Well,
we got the whole thing in the beginning. But
come on,
we got on the jumbotron. I think that was the highlight.
Yes.
That was the highlight of our friends.
I'll let you guys talk about that. But no, as far as performance goes, special teams is what it is. I don't think anybody wants to hear me beak about that anymore. Defense, they are getting better. They looked like they were just giving up that easy bender route. Hey, Arthur, just in the beginning of the game, it was like pitch and catch, and I was getting livid. But then second half, they shut the passing game down, and those timely turnovers take a scoring opportunity away. Those are awesome, right? We don't get 5 interceptions in the game, but when you get 2 turnovers to take 2 scoring opportunities off the board, that is great defense. I'm not going to say elite defense, but that is great defense. And then I don't remember who said it wasn't the number of penalties, it was the timing of the penalties.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there should have been a lot more penalties against the Green Riders. All due respect, you look at Malden's jersey, that thing was torn. You don't get that way from regular blocking, sorry to say. But we got the pressure when we needed it. We got the sacks when we needed it. Great on the lines. Again, let's keep trending upward. Let's just keep it going. You know, you guys have things to work on. Keep working on them. Make sure those mistakes are taken care of for the Ottawa game. Make sure what worked in this game works even better in the Ottawa game. And let's get after Ottawa. Enough said.
All right, great, awesome. Thanks, Greg. Let me read a few comments and then we'll get
have my tears.
to Arthur. Okay, Tommy says McKenna over Hladic and Thomas Oliver over Russell have turned the season around. Yeah, McKenna, I'm so impressed with McKenna every game. Like he's
got a nose.
Yeah, and yeah, Thomas Oliver is a huge upgrade over Russell. I was also not too happy with Colin in the beginning of the season, but I think I'm okay with him now on the other side of the field, right?
He's getting there.
Yeah, Wayne says, think about it. Those 2 TDs called back would have made it a picked game. Yeah, with those
yeah.
Yeah, it would have been 30-30, right? 16 plus 14, it would have been tied.
But it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. You can cry some more tears. Yeah. Daniel says, "I knew when we went up 26, we were going to win." Yeah,
I didn't.
I mean, I was getting confident at that point. And when Rourke threw the interception, I knew Greg was really upset, but I wasn't. I thought it was a good risk to take, given that we were quite far ahead. And how
they came back and scored pretty quick, though. Oh, that was awful. But
yeah,
hey.
Wayne says, bottom line, the Lions outplayed the Riders and deserved the win. Yeah, James says, I'm very optimistic that the Lions offense will get better and better each week. I would say I'm cautiously optimistic. So they're on the right track, I think. But I think the Montreal game is the real test 2 weeks from now. Just Believe says Colden saved the TD versus Calgary with a PBU. What's a PBU?
I think it's a pass knockdown PND. Like that was that tip pass when it was in the front corner of the end zone. He was able to get a finger on it.
Oh, pass breakup. Yes.
Press breakup. Okay, thanks, Arthur. Yeah.
Yeah. James says I was nervous up until there was 2 minutes left in the game. Just Believes calling it now. Grey Cup will be Calgary versus BC. Okay, that's with a Calgary crossover, based on what Just Believe said earlier.
I'd take that.
Yeah, I'd take that too. My 2 favorite QBs in the Grey Cup. Wayne says, sorry, Greg, but the Riders had 2 TDs called back, and you want Saskatchewan called for more penalties? I think not. Okay.
Just like when Wayne, 2.
Oh, Greg.
Okay,
be nice, Greg. Great nice. You're on a
Just
good roll, Greg. Don't.
Hey, no, I love Wayne, man. Wayne is a great part of having Wayne on the show. It's good, but
yes.
No, I mean there is a lot of horse collar holding in that game. We saw it. It was just anyway. I will keep.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. Just Believe says no BC crossover. So he's taking back what he said earlier. He was saying Calgary's going to cross. Alexander says Lions starting to roll, too good to be a 1-5 team. Should be a win next week. Yeah, that's we'll talk about that right after this. Oh, Nick says Kenzie is here. Says hi, Uncle Greg, Uncle Roland, and Uncle Art.
Well, hello, Kenzie.
Hey, Kenzie. Glad you enjoyed the game.
Go Sea Lions.
Go. All right. Let's go to Arthur. Your high level thoughts.
All right. Well, I've been asking great questions. I'll ask Roland this hard hitting question. How many times has Saskatchewan been held Saskatchewan's offense been held to under 20 points this year.
This year. I wouldn't think it's that many. They have a really strong offense this year.
You're making my point.
Let's see. They how many games have they played? We've played 10 games. I would say I would guess maybe 2, including last night.
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct.
Okay.
19 points last week against Hamilton on the road. And yesterday, 16 points. So they have been cooking. They have injuries. Hey, every team has injuries.
Yeah.
The Lions have had our share of injuries, right? So they've had some injuries. They had Emilus back, right? So they had 2 of their 3 top receivers back. Yes, they're missing some guys on secondary. We're still missing our starting boundary corner, okay? Gary Peters.
Yeah.
Anyways, a dominant, outstanding defensive effort by the BC Lions defense. Outstanding. And really, that last 10 points in the fourth quarter, the Lions are up 3 scores, man. Really. Yeah. They were in a cover 3, and they just let everything happen underneath. They're totally in a cover 3. It was a dominant performance. Like, I don't really, that 10-point, sure, I mean, it's on the board, but I mean, before that, it was 6 points, Greg. Yep. Into the fourth quarter. Before that ill-timed interception by Nathan Rourke, it was 6 points on the board. This is like A+ defense of performance.
Remember, I'm defensively greedy. I'll give him an A.
Against a starting quarterback, Greg. Against a starting quarterback. I mean, if it's even a second string, third string, we've seen what they do against BC, right?
Yes, we do.
So we're talking about Trevor Harris still throwing for 356. He was not efficient when he was in the BC zone. He threw 2 interceptions.
No, and that 356 happened a lot between red zones, theirs to ours, and fine be it, because again, they don't score. Yeah. But that and I'm willing to give, you know what, and you know that I will admit it right here that everybody can hear it. That touchdown they got to Duncan Busby, I'm willing to let that one go. That was a bust in the coverage. You saw that was aggression. Somebody mistakenly broke on the short receiver when there was already someone there, and Busby ran right by it. I'm willing to forgive and forget that one. So really, for me, the Lions D let in 9 points. And field goals, they're pretty hard to defend against. So I am saying they allowed 9 points, not 16. You heard it here.
You heard it there. So to me, it's just the defense is really carrying the team right now. My player game was Darnell Sankey. You guys know I've coveted this guy for the Lions.
Yes.
And he delivered some hellacious hits in the fourth quarter. I mean, I know when the Lions are down
for me, man.
You know, the Lions are down by 2 scores, and they're trying to, and then their receivers are doing like bender routes, and you know they're getting lit up by opposing defenses. And now you get Sankey there. Oh boy, 2 bender routes or 2 curls in the middle, and Sankey was playing like 15 yards downfield, and those 2 receivers, they paid the price, man. They both had to be like I'm not sure what happened, but they both had to be attended, and they had to walk off the field. They couldn't play the next.
There was one other hit too. That one he laid out on Bertrand, the running back.
Yeah.
And that ball, I mean, that was just fortunate. The ball went right into.
That's right.
But that was a that he didn't hit him. That ball came out, and he stopped. That running back was going full tilt. He hit that hole at full tilt, and he hit a Sankey wall, and he stopped, and the ball. I mean, it was just a fortunate bounce for Saskatchewan, but that hit if that ball went the other way, that again, more points I think on the board for us. But yeah, Sankey, price of admission, well worth it. But Emilus, I think he came down pretty. I think he had the wind knocked out of him because that's a long way. I mean, the hit jarred the ball loose sure, but he didn't drive him. He just knocked him out of a vertical jump, and then that's a long way down to come down flat on your back.
We saw him after the game. There was a noticeable limp with his right leg.
But you notice he didn't get any yak yards after any MLS catch. It was catch and sit down, or he was already in a down position when he caught that ball. So I really think he's not 100%, but they needed him. I think in the back of their head, they think they needed him for this game against BC in the Dome. But yeah, he's walking pretty gingerly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my high-level thoughts.
Okay, great.
Defense.
Thanks, Arthur. You talked a lot about the defense, but let me read a few comments here. Wayne says, "Hey Greg, I saw you cringe a lot a few weeks ago. I felt sorry for the Lions. Mind you, they're my second favorite team." Daniel says, "Nathan played."
Saskatchewan's my third favorite, Wayne. I'll be honest with you, because of Trevor Harris.
Nathan played good, but not great. He needs to get out of the pocket more. And Jim adds, "I wonder if Buck is coaching him that way. It's so strange." You know, the week after Nathan got hurt and then he came back, he didn't run at all. Right. So I think he was asked to not run. Then the week after that, he ran a little bit, and which looked good. But yeah, I think you might be right, Jim. I think maybe he's being given instructions to limit his running, maybe to protect him. You know, we're thinking long term for the season. Daniel says, "I give the Lions defense an A." Tommy says, "Sankey and McKenna are a nasty duo."
Yeah.
Do you think okay, just yes or no for Arthur and Greg. Do they match up to Team 100? The Adam Big Hill, I forget his name now, I bet.
Solomon Elimimian?
Yes, Solomon Elimimian.
How do you forget that name?
I know, my brain's not working. So Solly and Big Hill, how do they compare?
I know. Greg first.
Body of work's too short. I mean, they've only been together, what? This is Sankey's first season here. This is McKenna's. I think he only came in, a third of the way in? Because he wasn't starting, right? If I'm
I think
not
Halata
mistaken.
got injured for game one, so he's kind of been playing.
Yeah, so I think jury's still out on that. Impact-wise, I love McKenna's nose for the football. And Sankey, well, he's bringing a proven body of work with him. But I would need to see it here to... I mean, Solly's hits were decleating, de-snotting, de-ball, knocking out, fumble. I mean, and Adam, yeah. So I see the body work just has to be a little bit better for me to say they're the same.
All right. Okay, Arthur.
But they're well on their way.
Quick thoughts.
You still wanted a one-word answer?
yeah, one-word answer.
No, is it one word? I'm sorry. No.
Okay.
They're not there.
Sorry. Greg. It's hard for Greg to have one word.
I know.
Yeah, it is.
No,
sorry.
they're not. They're not there. McKenna has promise.
Yeah.
And Sankey is near his end of
his
career.
End of
versus we had Solomon. We had both those guys young and during the peak of their career.
Yeah, and the difference too is that both Solly and Biggie were on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
I think McKenna and Sankey are alternating, right?
No, they're on the same time.
Actually. Are they on the same time?
I think McKenna's outside. Will, right?
He's the Will.
Okay.
And Sankey's the Mike.
All right. Perry says Lions Grey Cup champions. Yeah, I like that. Just Believe says, since I correctly predicted BC's score, Greg has to paint his face red and white next week. But since I incorrectly predicted Saskatchewan's score, he can still make a prediction, or the other way around.
Thanks, Just Believe. Appreciate it.
I'm trying to follow that logic. But you predict a Saskatchewan win, you should do something, Just Believe, versus Greg has to do something. But I mean,
yeah. Wayne says, I love it, Greg. Keep underestimating the Riders.
Ooh.
Where did I underestimate the Riders? I just said they're my third favorite team because I got one more team between BC and them. I can't help it.
So Tommy says, Solly and Biggie were so good for so long. Yeah. Perry says, Rourke MVP if he walks into Montreal and wins at McGill Stadium. Yeah. I mean, if we could.
I think our Nate's got a long ways to go to get into MVP talk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one step at a time, right? So if he wins against Montreal, that's a big step forward. Just Believe the big 100. James says, that was a fun year. I'm watching those two. Yeah, Team 100. All right. Okay. Uh, we talked a lot about defense. Anything else you want to add to defense? There's um, if not, we'll go into Rourke's performance. Um, so there was a comment earlier that someone wanted to see Rourke use his legs more. What do you think about that? And he has been running less than what we saw from last year, and we saw how dynamic that could be. Um, let's get to Greg's thoughts. Should he be running more, or is this strategic?
I think he should be running more, but not. I think he should be rolling out more. As far as running, like ball carrying, crossing the line of scrimmage, strategic, but enough to keep the other defense, to keep the opposing defense guessing, right? Like, is this guy going to be a threat with his legs? So they're not just pinning their ears back and coming, because our O line doesn't pick up blitzes all that well. And if Nate's going to sit in the pocket and not roll out, I don't like seeing him take those hits either. I'd rather see him take a hit while he's running, carrying the ball. But roll out more, um, pick and choose the ball carrying, running, but enough to keep the defense guessing.
All right.
Short and sweet.
Arthur, your thoughts, not necessarily on running, but on Rourke's performance so far mid-season.
I think he's trending better. He's off his personal high standard.
Yeah.
He had one rush for 19 yards, so it was a good rush yesterday, and I think Buck's trying to establish that run on first down, and yesterday it was like some marginal success, maybe underwhelming on an average, but Saskatchewan is a very good team against the run, so you're going probably against their strength. I think Nathan just has to clean up some throws. I don't fault him for that interception.
Yeah.
Like Jackson was open, he had some pressure, underthrew him. It's kind of like a punt, so I'm
Yeah.
willing. It's okay.
He threw on the
Um,
run, right? He was running
yeah, it's a
forward and
little,
then
yeah,
threw on the
And
yeah,
run.
he couldn't follow through, and he had a guy almost wrapping him up. So he
yeah.
wasn't taking a hit, but he couldn't follow through because there's too many people around him by that time.
And I think after that, he did swallow up and gave up a couple of sacks. I mean, before then, like Saskatchewan had one sack on him, and I think he didn't want to. He didn't want like the Lions are up 2 scores. It's a completely different game, right? Statistically wise, he had 355, but he could have had 400 yards if the Lions were if the offense needed to like take more chances. But obviously when you're up 2 to 3 scores going to mid part in the fourth quarter, you're not trying to give Saskatchewan any kind of life with a giveaway. So you're playing it high percentage football, and you're playing ball security and being a good game manager. So I think he got hot. He got hot when he needed to. I mean, we hope they would have got a touchdown earlier,
Yeah.
but they definitely heated up in the second and third quarters. He made some big plays when he needed to. So um, it's a better performance than he's had in the prior weeks, just in terms of like I mean, he also didn't have the receivers dropping passes, so
Yeah.
that always helps him look better. I think they can still bring it up another level or level and a half, and
Yes.
it just tells you what we think about this receiving core and Nathan Rourke. Yeah, I like what Greg said about the rollouts, and I like to see that sometimes too, just moving the pocket around because our O line maybe it's we're not full strength there, but I can only see from Nate and Buck they're like, well, if I roll out to my right, I'm limiting my field of view or my passing windows down to maybe a
Yeah.
half,
Yeah.
and maybe they want the full spread of the
Yeah.
field by being in the pocket, but you
Yeah.
got to mix it up a bit more. And but yeah, but I think Rourke had a fairly good performance against a a good defense, I think a very mature defense with very good DC.
Yeah. Yeah, Tommy says Rourke's shoulder is still a mess. The left shoulder, right? Wearing a big pad on it under his pads. Can't take hits right now. So, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, which I think is probably the case, then that makes a lot of sense, right? That he's not taking too many risks. You know, rolling out of the pocket, you limit your passing to half the field. But if you have the ability to run, then that kind of makes up for it. But if he can't run because he wants to protect that shoulder, then maybe that's why he's taking those sacks, right? Alexander says, "Do we Salter again? Should be added to diversified plays." And Just Believe corrects his. Do we add Salter for extra flavor? I'd love to see that. But I don't know if Buck will do that. That would be. I mean, we've seen some creative plays from Buck so far this season, so maybe he will. Maybe he will. Daniel says Nathan did do some rolling out yesterday. He is way more dangerous when he does that.
Yeah.
Tommy says, wish the Lions would go get Justin Hardy from Ottawa. Nearing the end of his career, they would probably give him up. Didn't realize Hardy was 34. Thought he was like 30. Hardy played for the Falcons for years, Tommy says.
And who would you replace Hardy? Who would you replace with Hardy? Or would he just be a rotational receiver?
Hardy would be an awesome get, James says. Wayne says, let's face it, football is a team game. Even though the quarterback is most important, Rourke has improved his play from early in the season. Yeah, talking about team play, like if you look at stats yesterday, Javon Cotoy 6 for 6, right? Barry Hill 1 for 1, McInnes 5 for 5, James Butler 3 for 3, right? So if your receivers are making the catches, then that's how you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tommy answers replace Barry Hill with Hardy.
But Barry Hill's a wideout. Hardy's a slot, isn't he, Arthur? Because I know he's one of your favorite.
Correct.
If that's the case, I'd have kept Eberhardt. But hey, enough said. Barry Hill had an awesome catch, and he took a shot and a half to make that catch.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was beautiful. I do love Poussaint though. James says.
Yeah, another gritty player that's got speed.
Yeah,
just needs more play time.
Yeah, he's got a good connection with Rourke, right? Because they've been practicing a lot off season. James says, not sure why he's not a starter. Yeah. Just Believe doesn't like Poussaint. Okay, let's go to, so this Rourke's rushing. We talked a little bit about rushing. If we had some more creative plays, we didn't use, we used Butler more in the first half of the game. There was a couple runs where Butler actually did okay. Like he got a first down on first, and we saw the offensive line rally around him like they did with Horvath. So that was pretty good. But
that was a one run where he ran over Ford. That was awesome.
Yeah, but he has 14 yards, 3 carries. Horvath got 10 for 43. So we started using Horvath more later in the game. Yeah, I think it's still good to have the two, the two running backs, right? Sharing the load, kind of, maybe not 50-50, but still sharing the load. Let me read a few more comments and we'll talk about passing. Lastroid says, I think there's still hope to get first in the West. I still don't think Edmonton is as good as their record shows, and BC has been playing like a top tier the past 4 games. I think you've got a point, Lastroid. I kind of see a little bit of that too. I mean, Edmonton has been strong, but maybe they're not as dominant. I mean, we've beat them once, right? So, and we are trending upwards. I don't want to jinx it because we are moving in the right direction, but we still have a long ways to go. Like Rourke is nowhere near playing near his full capacity like we saw last year, even, right? But if we can achieve that, then I think there's a good chance that you might be right. Wayne says both the Riders and Lions lost good players to winless Ottawa. Yeah, we lost Eberhardt, right? James says Kieran Poussaint doesn't drop balls.
No, he does not.
And he's tough, James adds. Just believes that Josh Love is tough too. James says, I'm a Kieran Poisson fan. Just Believe says, yeah, Edmonton is definitely not as good as their record shows. They'll pick up 2 losses on the 7th and 12th. Okay.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
the Labor Day Classic.
It's the
Back to back
back against Calgary.
Calgary.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Edmonton schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I see a Labor Day is the 7th, so it's got to be the Labor Day Classic, right? And then the follow up back to back after. So
Yeah. Daniel says, man, we have to use Horvath more. The more he touches the ball, he gets going. Where Butler just stalls. Yeah. Yeah. Horvath definitely has overtaken Butler as our RB1.
he runs harder.
Yeah. It's hard to stop, right? Tommy Unders, we have lots of good Canadian receivers. Yeah, that we do. And I love that. James says, I honestly wish Horvath got 20 plus carries. Yeah, we were saying too, right? Like we got to look at the it's a long season, and every carry that the running back takes in the regular season, it's another wear and tear on their body, right? We saw this play out with Winnipeg, like with Oliveira and with Andre Harris. They would hold them back until later in the season. And then they would go full force, right? So I'm not sure if that's the strategy that they're, but it's good, right, to split the load with Butler, so Horvath is not getting beat up as much. Later on, when it's cold and we get into the postseason, that's when we fully unleash Horvath, and that would be how I would see it, right?
Yeah, I'm still not enjoying that first. Oh well, we'll talk about when we get to rushing, but more comments here.
Yeah, save Horvath for the end of the
we're
season.
in rushing now. We're in rushing now.
Yeah, we're kind of rushing and passing now. Yeah.
Get comments. Or I'm just gonna. I only have one quick comment on Horvath and rushing.
Let me read a couple and I'll get to you. Yes, Tommy says save Horvath for the end of the season. Just Believe says Horvath will slow down. It always happens. Look at Thies. He looked unstoppable for a few weeks. Yeah, when their body gets tired, right? That's why you gotta. And Buck did mention that in his post game media scrum. When they were talking about Horvath, he says Horvath takes care of his body. He knows, and so I think they need to find that balance. Use him, but not overuse him, right? Jim Horvath is legit to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just Believe. I still think Butler is better. The defenses haven't figured out Horvath yet. I'm not sure about that, but okay. Let's get to Greg. Your point.
Well, I was just saying that game against Saskatchewan, and like Arthur says, Saskatchewan's got a pretty strong run defense. I was just not happy with the first contact. As good as Horvath is, he was taking a lot of first contact behind the line of scrimmage, and that I don't care how big he is, that's going to wear on him, because that's you got to fight through that just to get across the line, and then you've taken 2-3 hits, and there weren't any clean holes, and our O line, our run blocking's got to improve as we keep trending upward. Butler, yeah, he's a scamper type runner. Horvath is a punishing type of runner. I get it, and the fans' opinions are different, but as punishing a runner as Horvath is, he can't keep taking that first contact behind the line.
Yeah.
Or he's not going to last till the end of the season.
Yeah. James says Butler is slow but smart. Yeah, he is smart, and he pass blocks really well. Although I've seen Horvath pass block decently as well. So, and then catching the ball out of the pocket.
Butler's.
Yeah, Butler's good, right? Except when Rourke overthrew him that one game a couple games ago.
Or underthrows him like he did last night.
Tommy Under says, you guys see Lions added Deontay Harty to the neg list. Imagine having him as a returner. Just Believe says, who is Harty? He goes, was a returner for the Saints and Bills. Says, yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, we need...
Oh, yeah, it's the 5 yards to play with.
We need better returners for sure.
We need better blocking.
Yes, we need better blocking. Yep.
Well, I have something to say about rushing. Really.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So, Roland, you mentioned someone said you wanted to see Horvath rush 20 times in a game or something like that. All right. So, against Winnipeg, Caden Salter, first pro start in a regular season game?
Yes.
So, how many rushes do you think Horvath had?
I don't recall anymore.
I know. I'm asking
but
you to guess.
not
Because I know you don't have it. That's why it's like trivia. I'm trivia guy.
not 20. Definitely not 20. And Salter had quite a few rushes himself too.
You did.
So
All right. I know you're trying to buy time to get a number.
yeah, I'm thinking.
I need a number, buddy.
That's how my.
You're-
I would say no more than 10.
so he had 17 rushes.
Okay,
Well,
that's
again,
a lot.
they
Yeah.
would because Bailey was the other running back because then Butler was out, right? Salter had 10 rushes. Salter only threw 15 and Hatcher threw 1. So they had 16 passes and
17
33 rushes. That is an anomaly.
Yeah, that's an
because
anomaly.
Salter is a first like a first game pro as your quarterback, right? So they were rush heavy. Even in a rush heavy game, even when he only had 17. So his Buck, I'm going to say this is not a Buck Pierce. Buck Pierce will not rush that much unless he has to because of the quarterback, right? When you have Nathan Rourke as your quarterback, Nathan Rourke is not going to pass 16 times in a game. There's no way.
Yeah.
Maybe
right?
in a quarter.
So he's going to get his 20-25 passes. So we just will not, BC will not rush heavy because we have such a good quarterback when he's playing. But it'd be good to have what I wanted to say is right after Saskatchewan scored their touchdown, okay, oh my goodness, we're within 14 points. And Greg's starting to get a little antsy beside me. And I'm like, calm down, buddy. We're up 2 scores.
60 minutes of football, man.
Momentum football, I get it. 7 minutes, whatever left, right? So BC, big pass to Couture over the middle. Your boy there, Roland. Big catch and rumble. And I like that. Horvath with a big 14-yard run. Right up the gut. Greg was
hurdling
happy.
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, hurdling that guy. Our friend Leon was very happy. Very animated.
Yeah. I know. It was too bad that he got pushed out on the 4-yard line too.
Is Wade still on? Because I want to say I got to give credit to Sales because Sales selflessly threw his body in there as Horvath was coming over top of that hurdle. And if Sales doesn't do that, Horvath lands and is going at full tilt. But Sales was enough, the mosquito on the windshield of the truck. And you learn this in physics in high school. That truck actually comes to a stop because 2 opposing forces hit. Sales was able to take that momentum away, the inertia away. But hey, kudos to Sales for having the guts to get in front of Horvath. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because there's a big size mismatch there.
Yeah.
So, sorry. So my point being is it's situational times when you need the pass. I mean, you need the run, right? Now, again, 14 points, 7-8 minutes left in the game, whatever, right? But, or is it 5? But they got the big run solely into field goal range, and then the field goal to put them up by 17. So, Greg, you breathed easy. Three score game with like around 5 minutes left.
I was breathing.
Yeah.
I
so
was
they
breathing.
scored 7. They're within 14. You had the big pass to Couture and then that big run Horvath. You trusted the run game, and that run game delivered. So it's amount of carries, but it's that when you need a big run, it can come through in the fourth quarter. That's what BC needs to lean on to beat the teams in the prairies, because we're probably going to play, well, the Grey Cups in Calgary. We're probably going to play another game in the prairies in the playoffs, hopefully. We host one, but we're going to need that run offense and that rushing offense to come through in the fourth quarter. So that's what I wanted to say about the rushing.
Yeah.
And I wish I could hang my hat on that. Like, okay, you know what? It's an automatic. I personally am not at that automatic yet. Like, okay, we know it's going to be a run. They know the run's coming. It's going to be at least 8 yards. I'm not there yet.
Well,
takes time.
But I will.
Time for that.
Horvath is averaging 5.9 yards per carry. So not 8 yards, right? I mean 8. But
I mean,
5.9 is great.
no one's average is 8 yards in CFL.
Yeah,
Man.
5.9 is
crazy.
great. 5.9 is great, right? If you get 5.9 yards on the first down, that's good. So it's not automatic, but it's dependable. And so if I were to summarize what Arthur says, he wants to see running being used strategically and not necessarily just quantity, like in terms of just keep running, right?
Game. I mean, all depends on the game, but yeah, I mean, we have to be able to confidently rely on it in the fourth quarter in a tight game. And of course, yesterday wasn't necessarily a tight game. Sorry, Wayne, but 2 scores, not necessarily tight, but tight enough for Greg beside me, I tell you.
Right,
Just going on track record.
Let me read a few comments here. There's a lot of comments, and then maybe we'll move on. It's getting late. Lasteroid says, responding to Perry, well, it's already settled. BC never loses against Montreal. Don't blame me if they lose now.
I don't know about it.
James says over 20 when he was responding to your question earlier. Just go get Chris Rainey. So it's close. It was 17, you said, right? Just go get Chris Rainey for returns. He's not even 40 yet.
40? Oh, yeah.
Daniel says, yeah, we need a guy like Chris Rainey.
A young Chris Rainey.
A young one. Just Believe says, Chris Rainey's in my top 5 favorite Lions, along with Arsenault and Lule. Perry says, Rourke is the best player in the CFL. He was last year. This year, he's dropped back a bit. If he improves, maybe he might still be in the running again.
He's one of the better ones right now. I'll give it that.
Yeah. Perry's getting a BC Lions tattoo tomorrow on his chest.
Wow. Good on you, Perry. Tell you what, Perry.
Lasteroid says, Harris isn't the same QB as he used to be. Can't play against man coverage. Hamilton and BC adapted to man coverage, and we saw the result. Wayne says, yeah, Roland, averaging over 5 yards per carry is awesome. Just Believe you guys definitely have a better run game than Saskatchewan.
Wow.
Ouellette is out. Ouellette's out, right? James says, it's pretty cool, and I feel lucky that we have the running back duo that we have. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Perry says, Grey Cup champs 2026. I would love to see that. We are in the running. So we were almost counted out at the beginning of the season, but we've clawed our way back up and we're in the running. It's nothing's a given. We gotta fight hard for every single win. Harpander says, it's our time, in quotes. In double quotes.
I rather have that quote come out when we're up by 3 scores late in the fourth quarter in the Grey Cup.
With less than 11 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah. All right. Perry says, Butler run last night was awesome. Yeah, he had a couple good runs, right? That one I can remember is the 10 yards on first down.
Oh yeah, he hammered Ford at the 2-yard mark, and then the O-line helped him get the last 2 after
exactly.
He fought hard for 8 yards, man. That was a hard fought run.
Yeah. At first, I thought I thought it was Horvath when I saw that play, and then as the pile came out, and they said no, it was Butler.
Oh, that impact with that Saskatchewan defender. Ford, I feel sorry for Ford, man. That Butler hit him hard.
Yeah. Ground and pound, Perry says. Okay, it's getting late, so we'll move on. Let's go and talk about the next game. So, BC at Ottawa. So, Arthur, you go first. You said this is the ultimate trap game.
This is the ultimate trap game. BC was 1-5. Now they're 5-5. They beat 4 Western teams to get to 5-5 over the past 6 weeks. Right before a home and home against Montreal. You get to 500. You maybe take a breath, right, Greg? Take a little bit of a breath. Like you got to 500. Like, okay, we're break even. We're technically in a playoff spot, right? And then you got a winless team on the road, mind you, and then you got a back-to-back to Montreal. This is the ultimate trap game. I'm like, they're gonna have to rely on like Sankey, TJ Lee, Nathan Rourke, all the other veterans to say, hey, let's buckle down and let's just win this one. So but yeah,
Okay.
again, I think that the defense needs to continue what they're doing offensively. You'd like to see them progress better. Special teams, just hang on to the ball. That's what Roland always says. Hang on to the ball.
I yell and
So-
scream at the TV.
Hang on to the ball. So that's all I have to say about Ottawa.
Okay, all right. Let's go. Actually, let me read a few comments and then we'll get to Greg's thoughts. So to Gene first, since I live in Regina, I've been talking to a lot of Rider fans today, and they're kind of worried. They're not feeling great right now. Yeah, the last couple losses wasn't too good for the Riders, but hopefully they'll bounce back. That's a mid season slump, right?
2 road games.
Yeah. Perry says 66-19. Okay, mark that down. That's,
Is that your
With a
official
tattoo on his
prediction,
chest.
Perry? We'll ask it again, but I mean, come on.
he says it's a BC blowout. That's his prediction.
With a tattoo on his chest.
Just Believe says, not a trap game. BC takes it easily, 37-17.
Jumping the gun here. But
Yeah, they're jumping the guy. It's okay. You can record it and then
37-17, just believe. All right.
yeah, and don't forget the 66-19 by Perry.
Well, we'll get back to that. We'll see.
Daniel says BC needs to make a statement again. We are legit. Perry adds, he even has predictions for stats. Rourke 25 for 31 passes, 475 yards, and 5 TDs.
Does Perry drink? I'm just asking. Like, kind of figs is that dude eating, man?
Daniel says, I want to see a good blowout by BC. We would love to, but
I would love
Wayne
to have
says-
seen that yesterday. Oh, sorry, and now Wayne comes on. Jeez.
Wayne says, I'll be honest, I like the Lions more than Montreal, but the Owls win 28-21. Okay,
Come
that's
back to
Wayne's.
us next week on that prediction, Wayne.
That's his
we
prediction.
gotta play Ottawa first. Don't look ahead.
Yeah.
Unlike the
Not look
Lions.
ahead.
Do not look ahead.
Yeah, true.
No.
Okay, let's get to Greg. So an ultimate trap game. Arthur says, agree or disagree?
Absolutely agree. And you know how much I love agreeing with Arthur, because Arthur thinks with logic, Arthur thinks with intellect, Arthur thinks with statistics. I think with my gut. And but I absolutely agree with Arthur, because I've been saying, like, in my opinion, it's been must wins until we hit 500. We could not afford another loss until we hit 500. Do not look in the rearview mirror and go, huh? And do not take a break. I think this team is beyond looking at their accolades. You know what I mean? Like, pat themselves on the back as, oh, yeah, look at that. We're 4-0. I think Buck is a good coach and good enough coach, and there's enough veterans on this team. That won't happen. But yes, the tendency of any human being, you've worked so hard to get to the, say that if this is weight loss, you've got to that first marker. Oh, I can dictate my cheat day. No, you cannot, because this is a trap game, because if you take Ottawa lightly, the number one thing that can happen, yeah, you could lose and that hurts you in the standings, but the number one concern you're going to get, injuries. If you take this team lightly, you are going to get injured, because Ottawa has absolutely nothing to lose.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
They have everything to gain, because they're going to be playing desperate. They're, it's that sports. They're going to be playing for jobs. They're 0-10. There's only 8 games left in the season. They're going to be playing for jobs. They're going to be playing for self. What's the word I'm looking for? For their own dignity.
Yeah.
They are going to be playing to prove that they belong as a football player in this league. We cannot look at this game as anything but another must win.
Yes.
I don't care, blowout, whatever. If we come out ahead, if we have to do a walk-off Sean White field goal with no time left on the clock, because Aiden Eberhardt had a huge game, which I hope he does have a good game. Aiden, if you're listening like you always do, I do hope you have a good game. But we cannot afford to look past this game to Montreal, because this is not a trap game. I'm looking at this as a trap series, a trap segment. These 3 games, you got to be dialed in. Again, each team, this is like do or die. This is a playoff game. Losing, you go home. We got to go in there with this mentality.
Did I hear you say you're okay with an ugly win?
Yep.
I'm gonna hold you to that
All
because
right.
you're gonna be all over us. Well, we should be killing this team.
No, because
How
because
does
I
an
don't.
ugly
We
win?
gotta. I don't
All right,
hate Ottawa.
you're gonna hold me to
I've always had a soft spot for Ottawa when they were the Roughriders, when they were the Red Blacks. I
I'm not
wasn't
the
too
one.
fond of them when the Glebermans owned
I'm
them,
not
but
talking about your love for another team.
no, but see,
I'm just saying you.
I don't
Okay,
care about a blowout here because I like Ottawa. I would love to. See, Wayne comes back on the screen again. I would love to have had a blowout against Saskatchewan or Winnipeg because and Toronto.
what?
That enough said.
Greg,
Those
come
I
on.
would love to see a blowout. Ottawa, I don't because again, Ottawa I know will be coming with all guns ablazing. So if we got to win ugly, we got to win ugly. This is just coaching experience that I've had, playing experience. A win's a win in this particular case because it is a trap game, like you said.
We'll see how you react when we're watching the
You
game
can
on
put a
Sunday.
camera on me the whole game for our
No,
viewers
you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is terrible. We should be killing them by 3 touchdowns. How can this be a tight game into the fourth quarter? I can see this." You say that
because
every game we watch, buddy. Every
Ottawa's going to be
game.
desperate. No, I got to be
All right, all
realistic
right,
this game.
All
I
right.
have to
all
be
right. Well,
logical.
So
I have to be Arthur like.
we'll see.
let
We'll
me
see, Greg. We'll see.
But
okay.
All right, Roland.
Let me read some comments, and then I'll chime in on my thoughts on the trap game. So Wayne says, "Sorry, I'm ahead of schedule. So 42 for BC, Ottawa 21 for
Got it.
his um and Wayne says, I think the Lions will split with the Alouettes. Just Believe says,
that.
yes, put a camera on
possible.
Greg and post it. That would be hilarious to watch.
We might have to bleep out half the things you said.
And there goes our entire viewership.
Yeah. Our RDTC podcast. Hey, it says, I saw you guys on the Jumbotron singing Bon Jovi. Can you sing some on
that's
here?
right.
Yeah, that was the highlight for our friends. First time coming to see a CFL game, and they get on the Jumbotron. So that's
It was a
wonderful.
highlight for you too, buddy. It was a highlight for all of us. It was
Yeah,
that was a fun time
highlight
for
for
them
us.
to be there and just enjoy that with them. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Okay, my quick thoughts on the trap game. You're right, Arthur. This has the potential to be the ultimate trap game. You know, we've finally gotten to 5-5. Had some really good victories, and you could the tendency and you want to take a breath of a sigh, a breath of relief, right? But the reason I think that that's not going to happen is because it's the losses, the 1-5 record at the beginning of the season is I would say it's a blessing in disguise for the team, because we were dominant last year, the number one in offense in so many stats, right? And we were humbled. We were humbled at the beginning of this year to see that, hey, it's a new year, new people, new season, and you can't rest on your past laurels. And they had to be disciplined to fight their way out, claw their way back up from 1-5 to 5-5. And so I think that was character building for a lot of our players. And I think to a man, you ask them right now, have you arrived? They say, no, there's still a lot more work to do. We're not where we want to be. We're not where we know we can be. So I think that even though it has the potential to be a trap game, I think they're gonna come out and treat Ottawa with respect and play that way. So that's what I think. I hope I'm right. And then with this game, and then it's on to Montreal, which will be the biggest test, I think. All right. Okay. Let's go to predictions. So we've got predictions from the people online already. So a few of them. If you haven't put in your predictions, put it on the chat so we could record it. But I'll pass the time over to Arthur, who's gonna talk about who won from last week.
So, BC, Saskatchewan at BC. The three bros picked BC. All BC wins. The gold star goes to our buddy Nate Elmo with the closest prediction. His prediction was 30-22 BC.
Wow, it's pretty
So
close.
that's the close. I mean, we all had. I think the rest of us had a BC win, but there's some people that chose Saskatchewan. We know who you are, right, Wayne? But And the rest of us who thought BC would win by a smaller margin than 14. So credit to
It was
Elmo, who,
me included.
wow, Greg, let's not. I mean, at least you picked BC to win.
I was gritting my teeth, but anyway.
That's right. So that was gold star to Elmo. All right, BC at Ottawa, Sunday, 4 p.m. Not bad time to start. Local time. So I'm going 38-21, British Columbia. Rolling.
Okay, I'm going to actually let me read a couple more comments before I get to that. So Harpander says in 2024 they were 5-1, then lost 5 in a row after that. It's better to get the slump out of the way earlier in the season. Yeah, absolutely. Daniel says Lions need to win, yes, but let's get a great win against Ottawa. RDTC, have you all watched the new Arrow Up episode that dropped today? I haven't seen it yet. It came up on my feed, but I'd like to see that soon. Yeah. Daniel says 48-25 BC.
Got
So
it.
that's Daniel.
Wow.
Wayne says, I can remember back in 2003 when Saskatchewan was the only team to lose to the Ticats, who were 117, and we weren't world beaters that year.
Yep. Got to be careful.
Mitchster from TikTok says, keep up the great work, guys. Hey, thanks, Mitchster. Titus says, can I get a shout out for my father, Darius? Yeah. Hey, shout out to Darius. Hey, Darius.
Hey, Darius.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hope
Darius
you're
a
doing
Lions
well.
fan, I'm hoping.
Or at least CFL fan.
Yeah.
CFL, that makes him awesome.
Okay. All
Best
right.
league in the world.
My prediction. I'm going to say.
Ooh.
I just said I don't. I don't. They're going to respect Ottawa, but I think it's going to be. It's going to be 36-18.
36-18
for BC.
For BC, of course, you've picked BC every week, just like me, Roland.
Yeah, and Nick says Kenzie and Nick says 24-23 for BC Lions.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. Lions win.
Yeah.
All right.
Tommy says 30-19 for BC. Yeah, Titus says Darius is an Argos fan.
That's okay. No one's perfect. Just kidding.
It's okay. We still give you a shout out,
Still
Darius.
supports the CFL, man.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna let Just Believe change his score, right?
Did he change it? Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going 40-23 BC. Yes.
All right, done.
All right,
done. Got Tommy. Got Nick.
Okay, that's it. Let's get Greg's.
Greg, what say you?
21-16 BC.
21-16 Eberhardt?
As much as I'd love to see Aiden win, he's on the wrong team, and that's not his fault.
That's not his fault. A loaded statement, but we'll let that slide.
Wayne says, "Thanks, guys, for letting me comment on your channel. Great show as usual." Thanks, Wayne, for interacting with us. We love chatting, bantering with you, and even with the occasional poke here and there. Nick says, "Oops, 27-24." Kenzie typed error. So 27-24. Not
throw Kenzie under the bus, Nick.
I have a question for Wayne, and I was like,
okay.
9 minutes to go. BC's driving into your red zone. Corey Mace calls his last timeout. You're down by 14 or more, and you call a timeout with your last timeout with 9 minutes to go. Why? Wayne, tell me why he would call a timeout. That was his last timeout, and you're trying to win the game. You need to stop the clock or whatever. You call a defensive timeout.
They must have something must not have been
Yeah, I don't
looking
know
right, or
why.
they were
Yeah, maybe there's
confused, right?
someone. Yeah, but
You can't
anyways,
tell, but
when you can tell me in the comments,
okay.
I want to know from a Riders fan. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
I think because BC was doing their hurry up at that time, and I think
Yeah.
it did kind of put a
It
wrench
did.
in the works. But
Yeah.
that's
and
burning a timeout at that point, though. Oof.
But yeah. Alexander 30-23 for BC. Arthur.
Alexander Norman. Yeah,
30-23. He's asking, will rain be a factor? It's hard. I'm not sure. I hope not. If it's rain like the Toronto game, then that's going to be brutal.
Then it's unleash the beast.
unleash the beast.
Yeah. Jim says 42-12 to BC.
Oh my!
Oh,
And you got Perry's, right? What was it?
I got Perry's, whatever.
66-19. Yeah.
7,812 to 10.
66-19. Yeah. All right. We got Greg's, right? Did we get Greg's?
We got Griggs.
Okay.
Nice reply, Wayne. You
Wayne
gotta
says,
you bleed green.
Ask Corey Mace. I won't criticize Coach Mace. He's a Grey Cup winning coach.
Class answer. Class answer.
He is a Grey Cup winning coach.
Yeah.
He's a Coquitlam boy.
What did I say to Wayne? They're rattled. They're rattled if they call it timeout.
Yeah, we were talking about that. They were again the grass and the challenge too, right?
Yeah, the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that interception.
Yeah. Small chance of rain, Just Believe says, in Ottawa on Sunday. Okay. So hopefully that holds out. Okay.
Well, they played in light rain in Calgary that when they won in Calgary, did they not? It was light rain.
I
Did
don't
you find?
remember. Tommy says, great show, boys. See you next week. Go Lions. Yeah, it's getting late, 9:41. So let's call it here. Everyone, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It was fun chatting with you. It's always fun, much more fun after a win. So
Wow.
hopefully we'll be having these types of feelings a lot more over the next few games. Have a great week. And we'll see you if you're free after the game on Sunday. Catch us. We'll do a short live stream, just a quick reactions, and then we'll do our regular show again on Monday at 8 p.m. That's the next day. Perry says good night. So good night, folks.
Good night,
Thanks all. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye and go Lions.
Go Lions.